So for the stereopsis test, you're going to ask the patient to wear these 3D glasses, or quote-unquote sunglasses. Ma'am, if you'll put on these sunglasses for me.
Sure.
And you're going to show them this series of pictures here. And for adults, you're going to ask them to take a look at pictures 1 through 5 and let them know that in each one of the pictures, one of the circles may appear to them as if it's popping out in 3D. And if it does, you're going to want them to tell you which one it is by indicating either left, middle, or right. Alright, so Mrs. Test, if you'll hold this right about here, take a look at pictures 1 through 5. In each one of the pictures, one of the circles may appear to you as if it's popping out in 3D. If it does, I want you to tell me which one it is by indicating either left, middle, or right, starting with number 1.
Left, right, left, middle, right.
Okay, great. Alright, and if I could have the sunglasses back, thank you very much. Now the answers for that test are going to be located right here on top of the visual field machine or instrument, and those are the answers. It's not focusing. Okay. For children, you're going to want to have them look at A, B, and C and ask you which one of the animals is popping out. The answers for which being A, cat, B, rabbit, C, monkey. Okay. Now, once they've done the stereopsis test, you enter in the results under here, under stereopsis testing, and click on stereo fly. And then you would go under the circle, and you tested them, you tested 5 pictures, and they got all 5 right, so you would select 5. Now, if they got any less than 5 right, say they got only 3 right, you would select 3, and etc., etc. But this patient got 5, so we select 5, and then click pre-test exam to go back. Now let's ask the patient their height and weight. Mrs. Test, would you happen to know your current height and weight? She said she is 5'5", so you would enter it in inches. And she said her weight is 150. I don't know. Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to go over. And then what I like to do is I'll go ahead and pre-select under blood pressure that you're going to be testing their left arm sitting, and you're going to be using, what's going on here? Okay. And you're going to be using the wrist cuff. And you select pre-test exam. Okay, so this is where we get to using the instruments. Now the very first instrument that we're going to use on a patient is the NCT, or what we like to call the eye-puff test in layman's terms. When you're explaining to a patient what the NCT does, it's basically an instrument that checks the pressures in the back of a patient's eye. Since every eye is filled with fluid, that fluid puts pressure on their eye, and therefore we're checking to see what that pressure is. It's a diagnostic tool that Dr. Ritchie will use to test for glaucoma. So what you'll do, very first thing, is wipe down all the instruments. We have alcohol pads here. You'll grab an alcohol pad and wipe down all the instruments and